Have you ever spent so much time watching other people's lives that you forgot to build your own? What if the biggest reason you're not moving forward is because you're too busy looking at everyone else? Today's story is about the life-changing power of focusing on yourself. Listen carefully, improve your English, and discover why your greatest competition is the person you were yesterday. Focus on yourself. In a small town lived a young man named Daniel. Daniel had big dreams. He wanted to become successful, make his parents proud, and build a better future. But every morning, before he even got out of bed, he opened social media. He looked at other people's success. One friend had bought a new car. Another had started a business. Someone else was traveling around the world. Every picture made Daniel feel smaller. Instead of feeling inspired, he felt discouraged. He often whispered, "Everyone is moving ahead, except me." One afternoon, Daniel visited a beautiful park to clear his mind. There, he noticed an old man carefully watering a small tree. The tree was only a few feet tall. Beside it stood a giant oak tree. Daniel smiled and said, "That little tree will never become as big as this one." The old man smiled gently. "Maybe. But tell me, does the little tree spend its time looking at the oak?" Daniel laughed. "No. It simply keeps growing." The old man nodded. "Exactly. The tree grows because it focuses on its own roots. It doesn't waste time comparing itself." Those simple words stayed in Daniel's mind. That evening, Daniel looked at himself in the mirror. He realized something. For months, he had been watching everyone else's progress, but he had ignored his own. The next morning, he made a new rule. For the first hour after waking up, no social media. Instead, he read 10 pages of a book. He practiced English, he exercised, he wrote down one goal for the day. The first week felt difficult. His phone kept calling for his attention, but Daniel stayed disciplined. Weeks turned into months. Little by little, his confidence returned. He learned new skills. He became healthier. His English improved. Most importantly, he stopped worrying about what everyone else was doing. One day, an old friend met him and said, "You've changed. You seem happier." Daniel smiled. "I stopped chasing other people's lives. I started building my own." A year later, Daniel opened a small online business. It wasn't perfect, but it was growing steadily. People began asking him for advice. One young student asked, "How did you become successful?" Daniel picked up a magnifying glass lying on his desk. He held it under the sunlight. The tiny beam of light became incredibly powerful. Then he said, "Sunlight is everywhere, but only when it's focused. Can it start a fire?" He looked at the student and smiled. "Your energy is the same. If you spread your attention everywhere, you'll achieve very little. But when you focus on improving yourself every single day, amazing things begin to happen." Years later, Daniel became known not just for his success, but for his wisdom. Whenever someone complained about other people's achievements, he always replied, "Never waste a day's energy worrying about someone else's tomorrow. Focus on your own goals, water your own tree, and one day, people will admire the forest you created." Moral of the story: the more you focus on yourself, the less you compare yourself with others. Improve yourself a little every day. Your future doesn't depend on what others are doing. It depends on what you choose to do today. Remember, the strongest trees grow by deepening their own roots, not by watching the trees around them. Thank you for listening.